All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. For those y'all wondering, is Vox a good character? I feel like people are all over are saying Vox is not the best. A lot of tier lists is putting him down low. I don't believe in that. I don't know how good he actually is. I would say he's like 6 through 10 on the list, maybe. Like just middle of the pack kind of character. That's my opinion. I don't care what other people say. I don't care if people think he's bad, if he's good. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're here in this video to talk about what his tools are and what his good buttons are and things you should know about Vox and things that are very important. For example, he has really good buttons. He can cancel most of his buttons and he has some privileged things. He doesn't have the best fireball game. But we're gonna get into everything. Hopefully you like this type of video and enough talking. Let's get into it. So the first thing we want to talk about is far B. This normal right here. Some characters in this game are privileged enough to have a far B that is special cancelable. Most characters have a far B that is super cancelable. We'll get into that. But Vox has a far B that is special cancelable. That means I can cancel this into special moves. And this property is very good for a lot of reasons. Here are just 3 examples of this move and what it can do for you and how it's used. So as we can see here, the first clip I showed you, you can run under someone if they full jump and you can punish their landing frames because they have landing lag in this game. It will always punish if you time it right. So dashing under someone and using these low pokes into far Bs and they're super and special cancelable means that you can guarantee get certain amounts of damage for punishing people for trying to jump over your head, or for people doing a full jump at you when they shouldn't be. They should be trying to hop because it's a lot harder to dash underneath the hop. It is possible, but it's a lot harder. The second option I showed you is we can use it as a space trap. For example, if we get it at tip range, and they try to poke us back with a far move because it's going to put space in between us and it's only -3 on block, right? Only -3 as you see right here. We can use this as a spacing trap to then get wild punishes or to bait them into jumping at us, or we're in a range where we can just try to pressure them with our little like key blast move. I don't know what you would call this. But Vox has this like little spacing game that plays for him pretty well. Overall, his far B is very good. And the last clip we show that we can actually make it a frame trap as well if they're mashing buttons, jabs in particular, you know, the fastest button they have, that it will get counter hits and rewarded with big combos, right? And the combo I show is just a little spicy one. I don't think it's the optimal, but I like the dash up jump. Like I said, it's not optimal. It's very tight, and in a real match, you probably shouldn't do that. But that's besides the point. In a real match, I would probably do a combo like this. I would just wait here, and then if you wait properly, unlike me, I would just wait there and do that combo. Sorry, I messed it up the first time. For those that don't know, I'm doing this on controller, but I normally play on leverless. So excuse my input errors. But yeah, So that's all we want to say about Far B. Next thing we need to talk about is anti-airs. I think Vox is pretty good for anti-airs. He has a weird spot where he's not so good, but we can talk about a few things. Let's show you some things you may or may not know about certain aspects of his anti-air game, and let's get into it. All right, as we can see there, he has some anti-air stuff that we can do depending on when you have the availability to anti-air. I showed in the first clip, you can always dash under people that do full jumps, but people that are hopping and doing jumps, you have multiple ways to anti-air. Just be careful of certain options. If you do them too early or too late, they are not as good. His anti-airs are serviceable, they're good, decent. The next thing we're gonna get into is it's a little bit of pressure stuff, but we're not gonna go too far into it because I'm gonna make another video on all his pressure and counter hits and stuff like that. But I feel like we need to go over this because it's pros and cons, because he has a command grab. Okay, like I said, we're not going to go too far into pressure. This is just simple stuff that I wanted to show off of his lights. As you can see, off of Far Beam, you can do his EX Fireball, and you can break after the first hit. You're +3. If they mash a button there, if they mash their jab, it will counter hit launch them. You'll get a big combo. You're plus there, so then you can extend your pressure if you want to. Whatever you want to do, if you're afraid they're going to DP, whatever. If you let the whole fireball rock, you then go into 2-3-6 the punches, and this has two different breaks. You can break before you ever attack, and you can break after the first attack. Now this move is always minus. If you break before the first attack, you're -6, but you can go for a grab, as you saw. You can also EX the command grab and get a big combo. After the first hit, you can break as well. It's also a frame trap on that first hit, so if they're mashing, you'll get a counter hit. You'll be +7. It's really good. Just if you want to keep this safe without expending more of your own rev meter, you have to break it here always after the first punch. You'll be -2. It's kind of like a DP break. I think it's a good tool. If you let it rock both punches, you're gonna have to go into DP and do the down kick to be +3. We can go over that, but the next thing we want to talk about, it's part of that. It's just an extension of what we showed there, but the reason that this is good is because, like I showed, it has counter hit places in this, so they can't mash buttons and you can get combos, but it also, we're going to attack their rev gauge. Vox, I think, is a very strong character at overheating your opponent, and we're going to showcase that, and then we're going to showcase like how to break their guard and stuff. It's kind of the same thing, very similar. But let's show it.
OverHeat. Turn to dance. Fall. Goodbye. Turn to pierce. Dance. Fall.
So as you can see here, using the rev ourselves, we can attack their overheat gauge, their rev gauge, make them overheat, also guard crush them. Pretty easy with Vox. I think this is one of his strengths. Really good at it in my opinion. I feel like Vox also himself using your gauge, if we overheat, making them overheat, I think Vox is also pretty decent character, because he gets like easy 300 damage just off 214C on any hit confirm. So I think overall the game plan with Vox is attack their overheat gauge, and he is pretty good at it. And definitely use this. Look at these ways to guard crush your opponent, and it's very risky to become overheated. As you can see how easy it is for Vox to just guard crush you and get a free combo. This is going to be very important once the game develops and we see how far characters are developed and how easy it is for them to max out rev gauges and guard crush and stuff like that. I don't think we're that close yet into the meta, but I think Vox's strong point is this. The next thing we're gonna go over is Vox can, you know, from any point of the screen, just go in, right? And be plus. So him being able to do this and your opponent's in overheat state is also really good. Yolo moves. Now this move isn't as good as someone say like Terry. The big difference between a Rock's move and Terry's is Terry like charges his fist and it's active and then he flies forward, where Vox is like he flies forward and then his fist is active. As you can see, it takes a second before that fist to actually reach your opponent. So think of this like Street Fighter 6 Drive Rush, where Vox is easier to check that and stop that. So a good opponent will stop you from doing that. But just like a good opponent will stop you from jumping, I'm not saying never jump, and I'm not saying never do this move. Use them wisely, and Vox can YOLO this out sometimes and get rewarded. Also, if they block this, you know you're going to be plus and they have to guess again. And characters that can do this, I feel like, are actually stronger than what people are saying. Where characters that can't do this, like Kevin, for example, I was playing Kevin before Vox. I didn't really love Kevin's playstyle. Maybe he didn't fit for me. I'm not saying Kevin's a bad character. He does a lot of damage, but I feel like he's like the Marissa of this game. If you know Marissa from Street Fighter 6, she does a lot of damage, but she slowly became worse and worse as the game went on. Now, I'm not saying Kevin might become worse and worse. He might become better and better because I think his just defend options are really good, and defense in this game really excels your gameplay. If you have a good defense, you can make anything happen. But we're going to get into the next thing we want to talk about, Vox strength and weaknesses, and that's his walk speed. His walk speed is a little slower than other characters. He's more like a brawler. He's not going to be the fastest walk speed, and also he can't exhibit any pressure from full screen. Now he does have this like mid-screen kind of pressure, and he has really good buttons, right? 4D, stuff like that. Really good whiff punishing. I think this character is stronger than people are giving him credit for. This is a 10 frame move that we can use as a whiff punish. Now it is a bit laggy. If you don't know the frame data, a creator named Juicebox, he's really good. He went and did all the frame data. I'm gonna post it in the description so y'all can find that and look at everyone's frame data. But overall, Vox in a vacuum, I think it's pretty good, pretty solid character. All right, guys, the last thing I want to explain, I just showed you all the pros and cons. The one thing I want to talk about, most of these are very self-explanatory. You should be able to read it and be like, oh, I get that. The one that you probably won't get is on the cons list. It says doesn't really have a button after jabs. I have the computer set up here. Preacha. We all know Preacha. Her far A is -2 on block, and her 2C is 7 frame startup. So if we do math there, that is 9 frames that the 2C comes out. We don't have a 9 frame button. Our 4D is 10 frames. Our 4C is 11 frames. Our 2C is 7 frames. But I have this set up and I'll show you what happens and what I mean by Vox doesn't have a real button to use. Since our 2C goes like straight up and it's like an uppercut, it actually makes it worse off to actually use. So if we show some of Preacha like this, you see what happens here if we mash 2C. It is not a very good option for us to press 2C when they do jabs. So the only other alternatives we have are, as you see right there, we have 2B, but they are blocking. As you can see right here, we have 5B, but they are blocking and we can't hit confirm this. We could 5B into a fireball, whatever, but I'm saying it's not like the best button. The only thing we can do is like 5B hit confirm into a super, or 2B hit confirm into a super, or we can do 5A. As you can see, all these options, we're at a point where 2 5As won't connect, so we can't hit confirm. So you either have to hit confirm a single hit here, or you have to you know, just you'd have to just do something like this, which I don't know if y'all know, but this move at a space is actually more negative. For example, if we do something like this, this is -2. But if we do something like this, where we max it out on space, it is -8. So it's not always our turn to press here. But this is like a spacing trap type of situation. But in general, what I meant to say is, you see, we can't actually like have a heavy button here that is for our favor. This hits because I have the computer slightly walk backwards to show you that the 2C will whiff. But if they just mash it out like this right here, we actually can't. Oh, well, I gotta block the attacks. See, if they actually mash their button out, theirs comes out 9 frames, ours at 10. We're gonna lose this scenario. So this is what I meant by Vox doesn't have a real button. But Vox isn't the only character in this scenario that has this. Kevin also is a big problem with this. Where in this sort of range where people can poke you with jabs and be like -1, -2, and you don't have a real button here. I'm not saying you can't do anything. This is just, I feel like it's a weakness. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like this is a little slight weakness that Vox has. Maybe I'm reaching here. Just let me know down in the comments if you have a problem sometimes in spacing traps where Vox just doesn't feel like he has a button for that scenario. But in general, overall, hopefully y'all like this guide. We could have went more into detail about everything and made this video a lot longer. I don't know how that would have went over. I don't know if it needs to be any longer. Hopefully you get a gist of the character. We're not like showing big combos or anything like that. Maybe this is too narrow. Maybe it's not wide enough. I don't know exactly what more we need to show here, but if you like Vox, I think you should play him. He's not bad like everyone says. He has his strengths, he has his weaknesses. Overall, I think he's a good character. Hopefully we can get into more of this. Like I said, the next video we're making is a guide on pressure, and hopefully that will cement how you think about Vox and if you actually want to pick him up or not. The last video I made, y'all said y'all liked the drip. I made some new drip. This one ain't as fancy as the other one. But you know, I'm trying to keep it fun, keep it exciting. I'm having fun with this game. Hopefully y'all are too. And thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. A lot of people have been commenting down below in the comments. I've been reading them. Y'all just tell me what y'all would like to see. I know y'all want to see some matches real soon. But I do stream. Follow me on Twitch. I'll be going on like 40 game win streaks and lobbies and stuff. It's really fun. But peace out, guys. Thanks for watching, and catch y'all in the next video.